Hey, how's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Exotic Giant. Today we're going to be talking about horror games. Is it a horror game or not? And a good friend of mine, Dr. Dumplings, who commented on my video about doing this segment with horror games, seeing if they're a real horror game or not, or if they're being classified as horror games, gave me a good concept to put along with this is talking about the old school horror games and seeing how well they held up and if they're still considered horror games. And I thought today that we'd do it about Dead Space and Dead Space the remake, because Dead Space being a good horror game as it was before, they thought, well, we need to bring it back, make it a little bit more beautiful, more polished, and allow the main character to actually talk for once. And as we all know, Dead Space is obviously a good horror game, and it is classified as a horror game, but we're going to make sure it deserves the right title. The rules are the opener must instill fear, the enemies must instill fear, and the atmosphere must instill fear. And the fourth rule is rage. Rage can kill off the game and make it no longer be considered a horror game. So this is the one rule that you do not want to fall in line for when you're trying to find yourself a good horror game to play.
Number 1, the opener.
So welcome to Dead Space. The game drops you right in, ready to get into the wait bay after crashing your ship and nearly dying. Now, the beginning of the game is very cool. The rig activates, everything is looking fantastic. Atmosphere is going good, and you can't wait to get inside. But communications, if everybody's not there, and something's going on, and you don't know what's going on, so you guys, as the repair crew, must go in and figure out what has happened. Now, you play as a character named Isaac Clarke, and the opening of the game is quite jaw-dropping, I would say, with everything looking like nothing's been activated for about maybe a couple years, century, maybe millenniums. But you know something's off here, and you're like, well, I'm just waiting for something to happen, and I know that every opener of a horror game usually drops the ball. So as you go through basically just trying to figure out, get your groundings, where your footings are, you're getting asked by your crewmates to go check on the ship. Well, once you start to check on the ship, then you start realizing that the ship's got hundreds and thousands of problems. There's stuff broken, the ship needs vast amounts of repair, and now you get a better understanding that, oh, well, something has happened and not good. Well, a few minutes go by after you just messing with a little intercom, checking Facebook and, maybe searching the internet for that best spanked meme. And, well, you press the big red button that said don't press it, and you slowly start to regret it. And that's when everything starts to really set in to let you know that you're in a horror game. Things are about to get really messy. Things are about to, well, sorry for Mr. Lang there, but he ain't gonna live for very much longer. And also, you might need to run. Well, that's a bit of a mess, but here's a side-by-side comparison.
Everybody relax.
What was that? Did you hear?
Not sure.
The hell? I don't know. Something's in the room with us.
Jesus! Open fire! Open fire! Tinder, power! Tinder!
Come on. Got it.
Isaac, get the hell out of there!
The door's unlocked. Run! Run, Isaac! Get the hell out of there!
Number 2, the enemies.
Now let's talk about the enemies. The enemies in this game can be terrifying, and most of them are just repeats that you see all the time. I think the only ones that actually really would get people, or at least get under my skin, are the vampires, Speedy Gonzales, the headless corpses, babies, and the regenerator. Now honestly, the regenerator is probably the only one that would get me a little bit more creeping, crawling, and running and screaming. But the head guys are pretty much terrifying because they just try to replace your head. And also the pregnant mothers that run around just flailing these. I didn't even know they had these types of arms. I thought they were just bones.
Number 3, the atmosphere.
Alright, let's talk about the atmosphere. The atmosphere of this game is very good. It's very dark, very gloomy, very underwell lighting, then sometimes overwell lighting, and then dark spaces. And then you kind of walk down an alley, and next thing you know, there's some creepy dude bashing his head against the wall, or some girl slitting her throat and carving up a guy who's just yelling, "Please just shoot me in the face. I'm dying. She's stabbing me. It's painful. Kill me." But Dead Space's atmosphere is definitely one of the better version of atmosphere. Hearing creaking and scratchings on the corridors, hearing screams in the distance, hearing people laugh, hearing things creeping, walking around. I mean, it's like they took all the best atmospheres from a horror movie and kind of just was like, hey, let's see what we can do. But it's to each their own. If you find this horrifying, good. If you don't, well, I don't know what else to tell you, but I can tell you. That shit pops out of those vents and you don't expect it, and you're just sitting there cramming a burrito down your throat. Well, you might end up with the shit in your pants and, well, probably end up dead. That's pretty much what's gonna happen. You're gonna get killed, and you're just gonna be pissed because at that point you gotta start back over.
Number 4, range.
So the meteorite mission is the only mission that I believe is still the mission that will get a lot of people killed, will fail the mission, and also make you have to restart. So the one on the left is the original 2008 version of the meteorite mission, and it looks pretty easy, but it gets very hectic to where you have all these meteorites coming at you, and usually if you're not knowing what you need to do or getting to the right proper of getting them damaged and destroyed, you can fail. And in the one on the right mission, same thing. The meteorites will come, and what I didn't know is when I flew out there the first time and was wondering what happened to me, and as you can see that the person is trying to shoot saw blades, there's another button you have to push to shoot that, but those meteors that are flying towards the ship can also kill you. Also dealing with meteors that could possibly kill you, there's enemies outside, and your oxygen consumption. Now instead of just having to try to destroy 100 meteors coming at you at once, now you have to look at 5 other things that are trying to kill you and also possibly can't kill you, and your oxygen just goes to poop. So yeah, still a raging mission. Still, I think it just went from being manageable to like, okay, this ain't too bad. It's not I'll get through it, to now, fuck you.
the results.
So my rating for Dead Space is a 9.5 out of 10 Necromorphs. Now, is that a little bit of a high rating for just starting out doing this? Yeah, but over time I should get better at rating and stuff. But I do believe Dead Space had deserved that rating at the top. To anybody who's a hardcore gamer or casual gamer, let me see your results. Put your results in, tell me what you think, if it deserves that rating, or tell me if it deserves a higher rating, or if it tells me if it deserves a 10 out of 10 or a 0 out of 10. Put hashtag hardcore gamer or hashtag casual gamer and tell me your thoughts and opinions on the game. I truly love Dead Space. I truly like it. When I first saw it, I thought it was amazing, and let's just be honest, Isaac Clarke is just an iconic game character now in the gaming franchise, and especially in the horror genre. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.